Let's turn to sport now, and the Black Caps have beaten the West Indies comfortably, a 240-run margin which delivered New Zealand a 2-0 victory in the Test series against the visitors. During the match, batsman Ross Taylor scored his 17th Test century. That puts him at the top of the list for New Zealanders, along with the late Martin Crowe and current Black Caps captain Kane Williamson, as New Zealand's most prolific Test century scorers. Not long after the Test ended this afternoon, Ross Taylor spoke to us about 17 and, first of all, about winning.
Probably at the start of my career, we didn't go into series as favourites, but probably in the last little while, especially at home, we go in as favourites and they're expected to win. It's a nice place to be. The boys played very well, and we're able to put West Indies under pressure for long enough and get the result.
Your first game for New Zealand was against the West Indies in 2006, right? A one-dayer, and did you ever think that you would still be playing for your country 11 years later with first equal the Test century scoring record for New Zealand?
No, not at all. I think I always backed myself as a white ball player growing up. 2020 was sort of just just emerging, I guess, and I always had a lot of success for Central Districts and one-day cricket. So when I made the Black Caps, I always thought I could have a bit of a career and do very well on the white ball. But I never wanted to just be a white ball player. I wanted to get good at Test cricket. But no, definitely never would have thought I would have had 17 Test hundreds.
Now, Ross, some of our listeners won't know what a white ball game means. So for people listening, that is the quicker, faster. The white ball game is just, as you and Chatfield so famously said, it's like playing in the highlights, right? And the Test cricket, where you've done so well, so brilliantly, is about surviving, application, concentration, hours and hours on end at the crease, as well as scoring runs. And you've really applied yourself to that, haven't you?
Yeah, something that doesn't come naturally. Something that I've had to work on over a long period of time, and have to still do that now. But and it's probably strange, but a lot of Test cricket is just about batting. One day cricket, 2020, as I talk about the white ball, there's a situation, and you bat accordingly, and the game situation almost tells you how to bat. But Test cricket, sometimes it's just batting, and some people struggle with that. But it's something that I've had to work on over a long period of time, and it's nice to get some success.
Some success. Your first equal, and you're in fine company, the three of you, and your relationship with Martin Crowe. I mean, it's very moving that Martin Crowe gave such a damn about you and gave you such great advice. But we need to stress he wasn't that sentimental always, was he, Martin? He could tell it straight, couldn't he? Yeah, and I was on the end of a few of those those conversations. But that's what I liked about him, and he told me what he thought and was honest, and that's what I needed, and that's what I wanted. He didn't sugarcoat anything, but at the same time, he knew when he had to put his arm around and give me a bit of love. I mean, professional sport's tough, and cricket's no different. But the advice, both on and off the field, was amazing. But we developed a great friendship over the years, and our love for red wine probably was just as just as much a part of our talk as cricket was. 2012 was a bloody tough year for you, and because as you know, I love cricket and I followed your career closely, but I think you showed remarkable fortitude and something tough. You were resolute in your determination to be good after that year, weren't you? You had to go away and steel yourself and play the game like it really mattered.
Yeah, I think something, that when I look back on at the end of my career, how I got through it, I'm not sure. But I always wanted to play for my country. It was probably a very easy decision with what was going on. There's only one country to play for. There's no other higher honours. It's not like football where you could go and just play for club level and get the satisfaction out of that. I still wanted to play for my country, and here we are 5 years later. I'm happy with the decision I made. 17th
century, 6,000 test runs, a test average of 47, which is just, it doesn't matter who you are, you would be delighted with an average of 47 in test matches. Can you tell me the story about the butterfly? It's a pretty wonderful story.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I had a very good relationship with Hogan, and as the cancer had hit, I probably didn't hear from him as often, but whenever we played in Auckland, we'd always, catch up, and we went to a cafe and Koe just around the corner from his home, and we ordered the same meal, and he said, just as we've been through discussion, but he's pretty spiritual, especially towards the end there, and he said, when you see a butterfly, think of me. And I don't know how many runs I was on, but I was on about 60 or 70, and this white butterfly just flew in front of me and flew down the wicket and flew off. And I sort of looked at it and had a bit of a smile to myself and thought, he's around here, and sort of put me at ease. I was pretty relaxed after that.
And you got there, 17 centuries. I know you say you're not goals driven, and I know you say this isn't stuff, and there have been people, Richard Hadley, I guess, was famously driven by targets, and he worked towards them. Do you have a target now, or do you just want to keep playing the game you love and play so well for as long as you possibly can?
Well, when I first met Martin in 2006 in a mentor capacity, he's the one who said to me that he wanted me to get to 17. That was a goal that he set for me. But as it came closer and I realised that I could achieve it, he said get to 17, but don't stop there. Have I got a number in mind? Not really. I think at the end of the day, I need to keep fit and stay on the park. And obviously, the more time you spend out in the middle, the better your chances are. And hopefully, over time, that maybe I can get to 100 test matches. And whatever I end up on, hopefully I'm satisfied with that.
One final question for those of us who will never, ever know the feeling. What's it like, and you've had this experience 17 times, to score a ton? What's it like? Yesterday you brought your century out with a 4. What's it like when you just play the shot and get to 100? What is that feeling?
I think sometimes out of the 1700s you don't know that you're on. Yesterday I knew I was on 96, so it's a nice feeling to get to 100 and not know you're there. But that doesn't happen a lot. But so I think it's obviously proud to get to the milestone, but a lot of it sometimes it's relief to get to a milestone and get back into the situation of the game. Yesterday we were in a bit of a tight situation, so the context of the match made me just batting the priority. But no, it was nice. I'm sure over the next little while it'll sink in a bit more and can tick off a goal that was set. So, but as Martin said, don't stop there.
Ross Saylor, who is not stopping there with 17. Kane Williamson also on 17, both playing in the same test team at the same time. It's a hell of a batting lineup New Zealand has. They beat the Windies 2-0 in a 2-test series pretty comfortably too. The Windies not the cricketing force they once were. Back in the glory days, they were a magnificent team. Here's hoping for a resurgence in their fortunes.